Hello, welcome to today's tutorial. Today we're going to talk about the 2D workflow of Rhino inside Revit, especially the detail lines, fill regions, areas, area plans, the master planning. Alright, let's start. So the first step is really to open the Revit and start the Rhino inside. And then type in Grasshopper to open the Grasshopper. Any Revit file will be fine because today is really about the 2D workflows, and I'm not really a fan of organizing sheets and views using Grasshopper because there are already existing functions in Revit and a lot of plugins can do that. So we will be focusing on drawing detailed lines, fill regions, area plans, master planning. So first, detail lines. For a lot of times we will draw some fancy lines in Rhino, but hard to get them back into Revit. So what we're using is annotate, add detail lines, and then the view we will do active view, and then the curves we can grab the curves, and then it's in. So that's curves. And then for the fill region, the process is quite similar. If we do add region view, this time we're not using active view, we are using query views, and then we can use a value picker to select the view that we want to select. So the view is AZ floor plan, so AZ law AZ underscore floor plan. When we select that plan we're using, connect to the view, we can do is really the boundary of the fill region. So for example, we do that, and then set multiple curves here. So there is a fill region already in the Revit. We can tap in pin element as well. And the pinned, we set boolean to false. So the fill region we drew in is not pinned. So this is the way that we draw a fill region from Rhino to Revit. But if we already have a fill region in Revit, the way to grab it back into Rhino is really by the quickest way to do it is really by graphical elements, set one graphical element, set it, and then we can do element geometry here. So it's under Revit geometry, element geometry, and then we can get the surface into our Rhino. Then we can explode it, or on the surface we can do a B-wrap edge. We get the edge of the curve, and then we draw it, and then we can really play with it and do extrusion or something, create a massing that we need. Unit Z, direction will be 5 meters. So we can create a box. So that's fill region. Another thing that we can talk about is the area plans, because in daily work area plans are very useful for drawing master planning. So plan view, area plan, we create a area plan here now, and we can then in area boundary we draw a lot of area boundaries here and there with different shape. And then we give them an area 1, 2, 3, 4, and the color scheme we're doing a category, and then we gave the area a different category, so they're showing us different colors. And then the next we're doing is really to grab all these areas into Grasshopper. So the way we are doing here is under Revit, again we're doing the query view elements, and the view will be, we copy this guy again here, the view will be round plan that we just created, and then we connect it here. Category we are doing in areas, so we grab all the Revit areas from this view, and then if we are using the same way, element geometry, it doesn't really give you anything because it's area, it's different from the field region. So what we're using here is under topography there is a spatial element boundary that we can use, and then we grab all the boundary of our areas, and then we can create a surface using these boundaries. Let's do our boundary surface here, and then we can extrude them. Unit, say height will be 5 meters. We got these extrusions, and then as mentioned previously in the Revit, if we go to 3D, we can direct shape, add direct VRAP, and grab all this messing we just created from the area plan into Revit. Another thing we can really do is to add tags to the area plans or field regions. We can do either tag area or add tags. So for the tag area, we can do is we select area plans that we want to tag, and we select the areas that we want to tag, and the types, we can select the type that we want to tag, and then you can see there is a tag created from the Rhino.Inside. Another thing we can do is add tags. So if we grab all this boundary from the master plan here and go back to our floor plan, we can then add field region here, boundary wheel. We can choose the wheel here, the floor plan we chose before, and then we draw in all these few regions based on the master plan boundaries. For the type, what we can do is, under filter, we can use the element classes, and then class filter. If we type in fill region, we can find the field region type, and then we can use query type, which is under the Revit type query type. We plug in the filter here and see we have all these types of field region, and then we can use a value picker to pick the type of the field region they want to use for all these field regions. Plug in here, and then we can do is really add a text to each field region. So if we use the area, we connect the boundary here, and then the centroid will be the point to add the text. And then view, we are using the same floor plan view. The content now is really ABC. The type, again, we can still use the filter element class filter, we put in text, and then there is a text note type, and then the type, there is a query type filter. We're able to choose the under parameters value picker. We're able to choose a text that we need. Let's choose a big one for visualization. Connect it here. So now we can see all this text has been added to the center of our field region, and then we can change the text. For example, we type in hello world, and then we connect it here, so all the text will be changed into hello world. Because we have we have 4 field regions, so if we do a list length, we connect the boundary here, we flatten it, so that will be 4 sort of field region we're creating. And then we create a series. Instead of step, we connect it to the count. So we have 4 numbers, it's 0, 1, 2, 3, and then we can do concatenate. We're connecting the hello world with the 4 numbers. So we have 4 texts, and we connected this text into content. Sorry, we need to graph it. So we have mode 0, 1, 2, 3. So in this way, we are sort of translating the areas we're creating in the area plan into a field regions in the normal plan, and we add a text to each field regions. We can also add an area to the field region. So we have the boundary, surface, again here we have the areas as number, And then if we add one more here, we connect the area here. Now we can see the numbers, the area of the field region are attached to the name of the field region.
Thanks for watching today's tutorial. Please subscribe to support and check out my other videos.